My Daughter Keeper presents The Wolves of Langston by Daniel Howard, a solo 5e scenario from Obvious Mimic Press. Episode 4, New Leads and New Complications.
After you've eaten, you make your way once again to the town hall. As you make the trip, you feel like you're starting to see the rhythm of life here in Langston. You're seeing many of the same going to and coming from the market. Craftspeople of all kinds quietly go about their business. If not for an undercurrent of fear seen in the occasional jump start or a furtive look over a shoulder, Langston could be mistaken for any of the other sleepy towns that dot the land. But it's not. It's a place where killers walk the streets at night, beasts invade gardens by day, and druids are trapped within their own powers. And now there's something else. The mayor's aide is waiting for you at town hall. "Ah, you're here," he says. "The mayor has been waiting. Follow me, please." He leads you to the mayor's office and leaves without a word. The mayor looks up as you enter. Buttercup maintains his position beside the desk. After a perfunctory greeting, Mayor Anathram says that she needs you to investigate a report of bandits in the region. Reports are coming in of 2 strangers that make citizens feel threatened, she says. Likewise, there are a number of farm animals missing, also other items of value. The arrival of these strangers is likely related. Maybelline's death could also be related to these strangers. I want you to investigate. Roll an insight check.
Insight +5. Let's see what I got on the dice. 13. So that's not bad at all. That's 16 in total. That's a success.
You realise that this is probably not related to the murder you are investigating and call the mayor out. It is unclear, she says, but some uncertainty shows around her deadpan stare. But there is no evidence of their involvement. Yet, still, I need you to find out for sure. You can either negotiate additional pay or accept the task as is.
Mayor, I was hired to investigate a murder. If you want me to go playing policeman, I am going to have to demand a pay rise.
I do not normally negotiate with those I employ, she says. But if it will speed you along, then you can have this. She pulls a coin purse from a desk drawer and tosses it to you. You don't say anything about how she had an additional fee ready. Add 30 GP to your inventory. I expect that is sufficient to continue doing the job you have agreed to do, she says.
Reluctantly, yes. What exactly do you know?
Give me your map of Langston, Mayor Anathram says with an outstretched hand. Once you hand it over, she uses the quill from her desk to circle an area outside of town in the wooded area to the north. Search this area for the bandit camp and remove them from the area, by force if necessary. This should be well within your abilities. She looks at you and points to the wooded area around the supposed camp. Use the forest paths. People are frightened of the murderer and the rumour of bandits. More strangers on the road could cause panic. You agree. But it's more of a reflex to the mayor's raw authority than a conscious agreement. You take the map and say goodbye. Heading north as if travelling to the nearby farmlands, you veer off the road into the woods to the east. You pick your way through the woods. As you proceed, you keep an eye on the sun through the trees and clouds and seek out any of the landmarks you might see on the map. This part of the forest is quiet but lacks the unnatural stillness of Roy's woods when he was sick. It's just a peaceful forest full of all the hums and twitters of a healthy natural environment. A river burbles somewhere off to the west. If you weren't marching toward almost certain violence, it would be a very calming hike on a pleasant day. As you make your way through the woods, you come across a clearing ringed with old trees with thick, gnarled trunks. The birdsong is especially beautiful here, and the air smells of a heady mix of wildflowers and honey. Sitting in the centre of the clearing on a stump, you see an unusual woman. Her skin is bright green and her hair a tangle of leaves and moss. She hasn't seen you, her whole attention on a robin resting in her outstretched hand as she laughs and twitters back to the little bird. You have found a dryad. a fey creature with a deep connection to the forest. You can sneak past the dryad, make your presence known, or attack the dryad.
I don't like to sneak where I am not wanted. I shall peacefully make my presence known.
Deciding stealth is for sneaks, thieves, and cowards. You emerge from the woods in full sight of the green-skinned woman in the clearing. She is clearly surprised. The foliage that makes up her hair and clothes rustles in a breeze that isn't there, but she appears unafraid. She remains silent as she calmly watches what you do next. You can either try to communicate or attack her.
Greetings. I mean no harm, and I certainly don't mean to intrude. May I ask what you are doing in this forest?
I meet you, skin person, the woman says in broken common. Sylvan speak you? If you speak Sylvan, you can speak Sylvan to her. Otherwise, you can cast a spell or use an ability to understand her, or continue in common.
Sadly, no. May we continue in common? I don't think you'll understand any of the other tongues that I speak.
Common not good me, she says. Sylvan gooder, but talking. You nod as if you understand, and she continues. Bad men there, she says, pointing off into the distance. Many string, sharp string grab friends. She wraps her hands around her own neck and makes a sad face. Help us, can you? She says. Little friends so sad. I know not fixing how. Bad men now gone, but camp still being. Soon returning be maybe.
Yes, I should be able to help your sad little friends. Does this mean that the bandits are not at their camp at the moment?
The dryad nods with a proud smile. For help you, she says, and gives you a small bottle. Drink to be tree skin. You almost certainly don't understand this one, so you touch the potion to your lips to find out what it is. You immediately feel sturdier, tougher all over. Add a potion of barkskin to your inventory. The potion grants the effects of the barkskin spell. Your AC is at least 16 for the next hour after consuming its contents.
Can you show me where the bad men are?
The dryad leads you through the woods, her feet barely making a sound in the underbrush that you need to at least make an effort to avoid. She leads you to an easy entrance point and points to where the trees thin into another clearing. This flat patch of earth couldn't be more different from where you met the dryad. The sloppily built fire pit is surrounded by the detritus of several meals, including scorched bones of various sizes and old greyish porridge even the local wildlife steered clear of. Most importantly, the camp is indeed empty with no sign of activity at all. You turn to the dryad to thank her for her help in finding the camp, but she has already vanished into the woods as if she was never there. With a shrug, you slip into the camp to investigate further. The camp isn't much all told, and you probably wouldn't think anything of it just stumbling across the site on your own. A competent but not impressive fire pit is set up at the centre of the clearing, though no kindling appears to be gathered for tonight. Charred bones from a variety of small animals and other less recognisable detritus litters the ground. There don't seem to be any tents, but 2 rough lean-tos have been constructed to presumably keep bedrolls dry in the event of rain. There is very little else that seems important in camp, though you can see an oilcloth bundle hanging in a tree to keep something off the ground and away from curious animals. It's tied to a tree trunk with a rough hemp rope. Roll an intelligence investigation check to search the camp for anything you may have missed.
Got a +4 here. Let's see what the dice says. Ooh, that's a 19 on the die. 23 total.
You search through the bandit camp, starting with the oilcloth hung in the tree. A leather scroll case contains a rolled sheet of vellum. Examining the document, you see that it is a warrant made out to someone named Horace and Titch, the bandits' names presumably. It offers hundreds of gold pieces in reward for information regarding the criminal's location and thousands for her capture, dead or alive. The warrant is for the Wolf of the Road, who has an obviously orcish name you don't recognise. They are wanted for the killing of a constable in 3 Rivers. Not knowing what to make of this, you take the document with you until you can find out more. These bandits have clearly fallen on hard times as their gear all seems tattered and in poor repair. It's likely that any valuables they might have are also kept on their persons. However, elsewhere in the clearing you also find a smaller oilcloth rolled up and stuck into a deep knoll on a tree. In this second oilcloth, you manage to find an agate brooch worth 15 GP, and disguised with some ash, there's a flimsy jewelled dagger worth 5 GP. Leaving the rest of the bandit's junk, you note that the day is coming to an end soon, and you will need to hurry back to town to report to the mayor. Your trip back into town is uneventful. As you walk, the roads are empty of other travellers, though that could also be explained by the quickly advancing nightfall. You keep your eyes on the tree line too, but no hungry wolves make another appearance either. No one wants to be caught outside after dark, with an unknown killer out there. By the time you make it back to Langston, the sun is nothing more than a faint blush on the western horizon, and stars are just speckling the sky overhead. It's later than you expected, but you feel that the warrant should be discussed immediately. As you arrive at the town hall, the sun is completely gone. The building is dark, but you run into the mayor's aide locking up just as you arrive.
I say, Clark, I must speak with Anathram.
The mayor isn't here, he says in response to your question, though she does often stay into the night. She seemed distracted after receiving a sealed message earlier today. She wouldn't tell me what was in it, but she left shortly after.
My errand is incredibly urgent, and I must speak with the mayor right away.
He gives you directions to her house and bids you a good night. As you approach the mayor's home, you see two shabbily dressed men lounging by the entrance to her garden. One is tall and lean, with a sharp face that seems set in a permanent grimace of contempt. So this must be Titch. The other, presumably Horace, has a smug smile on his face as he scratches idly at his protruding belly. Both wear equally mismatched clothing and piecemeal light armour, as if everything they have is scavenged from those even less fortunate than them. As you watch, the mayor approaches from the other direction. She stops to scowl at the two men. You see her hand stray toward her belt as if reaching for a weapon, but she catches herself and stalks forward. The shorter of the pair waves and waggles his eyebrows. They greet each other, and not in a very friendly manner, though they are too far for you to hear specifics. After a brief exchange, they all go into the house together. Horace leads the way while Titch takes up the rear. A moment after the door shuts, lamplight illuminates the front window. You approach the house. The mayor's house is a large, single-story home with a small, neglected garden and a thick wooden door. Like the rest of town, it's built on a stone foundation with timber-framed walls. Lamps have been lit inside and glow through closed curtains. Despite the thickness of the door, however, you can clearly hear voices raised in anger inside. You can continue listening at the door, knock, attempt to force the door, or try to quietly pick the lock with thieves' tools.
I will continue to listen at the door.
The door is thick, and the voices are obviously some distance from it. It's only because they're shouting that you can hear them at all. The shouted conversation is occasionally punctuated by the deep bark of Mayor Anathram's guard dog. Roll a wisdom perception check.
Get a +5 on my perception. Let's see what the dice says. 14 plus 5 is 19. That is a success.
Despite loud barking, you can make out 3 voices. One is obviously the mayor demanding what the 2 men are doing in Langston. The 2 men take turns speaking in slow, arrogant voices. You still can't make out everything they're saying, however. You just catch the words wolf, money, and find out. You can knock, open the door by force, or pick the lock.
I'm a puny, squidgy warlock. There's no way I'm forcing the door. I don't have any ability with lockpicks. So I'm just going to knock on the door and see what happens.
The voices go silent and you wonder if anyone is coming. As you're considering other options, you hear the mayor's voice call out from the other side. Who's there?
Ah, Mayor Anathram. It is I.
Silence again. Finally, the door unlocks and the mayor's scowling face greets you. Excellent. I'm glad you could make it, she says, the most courteous you've ever heard her speak. Won't you please come in? Confused, you follow her into the front hall of her home. As soon as you step past the threshold, you see that the lean bandit is standing behind her with a dagger in the small of her back. Mayor Anathram hardly seems to notice him, however, as she is both taller and much broader than him. "Welcome to the party," he says to you, his sour mouth twisting into a wry smile. "Come in and make yourself comfortable." Growing even more confused, you follow the mayor and the bandit into the house's parlour. The shorter, more portly bandit is also there, casually toying with a dagger and trying not to notice the enormous mastiff staring at him like a meal. Hey, as you were folks," the broad bandit says, gesturing expansively, then pointing at you with his knife. "Except you. Stand over by my companion there so we can keep an eye on you, eh?" You look askance at the mayor, and she gives you a single small nod, and you do as you've been asked. Now, in the parlour, you can see that the home is well appointed with comfortable furniture and a snug little kennel for the dog. The walls aren't bare and include a few oil paintings, some sconces for lamps, and other generic decorations expected of a person in the mayor's position. All of it is rather bland, however, as if she selected her surroundings based on someone else's taste, except maybe the stained battle axe hanging over the mantel. A low fire is just getting going in the hearth. The two bandits are standing closer to you, between you and the mayor's position with her dog. The mayor is sitting in a dining room chair, one hand on her dog as if restraining him with her light touch. Both are still, but with a tightly coiled fury.
Well, gentlemen, I suppose my introduction is in order. I am Darday, an investigator, trying to find the culprit behind the murder of a young woman in this village.
As you speak, the shorter, rounder bandit makes an elaborate show of listening and nodding. The taller, thinner one lounges against a wall, hand resting comfortably on a knife at his belt. "Did you have something to do with that?" the chubby one asks sweetly. His compatriot chuckles and shrugs. "Maybe a pretty young lady found out your little secret while collecting berries in the woods, maybe. Or from a conversation in the market. You're starting to put everything together. But you look to the mayor for more. Mayor Anathram sits in stony-faced silence. Her eyes shift into the middle distance, but her dog continues its vigil of the room. "Well, I'm Horace, and this lean-looking lad is my good friend Titch," says the shorter of the pair, breaking the silence. "Your employer here. Well, hells know what name she gave you, but we know her as the Wolf of the Road." He produces a wanted poster clearly labelled the Three Rivers Constabulary. There is an accurate image of Mayor Anathram on it, right down to the wounds where her scars are now apparent. "So now your pet sleuth knows," says Titch to the mayor. "But if you don't open up the town coffers, or if we don't make it back to camp by morning, our friends back in camp are going to tell everyone in town your little secret, and we've got more proof like this."
Mayor, these fools are trying to take you for a ride. They have no fellow conspirators. I found their camp. It was very, very empty. I also found their warrant, which is now safely elsewhere.
"I see," says the mayor. Her smile is far more unsettling than her scowl. The two bandits glance at each other, the blood draining from their faces. Mayor Anathram pats her enormous dog's head as it begins to growl. You can try to threaten them into running away, or attack them.
I'm going to threaten these two idiots. Right, you two. There's only one way that you are going to get out of this alive, and that is to give up now.
"This one is smart," the mayor says, nodding toward you. Buttercup licks his lips and bares his teeth. "Roll a charisma, intimidation check with advantage due to the mayor's assistance."
I do have a -1 to my charisma, but the advantage may do this. So let's find out what happens, shall we? That's a 10 on the first. 18 on the second, so even with my -1, that is a pass. Thank you, Mayor Anathram, for giving me advantage.
Horace swallows with a loud click, and even the seemingly unflappable Titch glances around for escape routes. "You were outmatched when you arrived," Mayor Anathram says to the bandits. "And now you are outnumbered. You may leave safely, but you must leave now."
The opportunity to get away will expire shortly.
"Well, I think that their offer is looking more generous by the minute. Wouldn't you agree, Titch?" says Horace. His compatriot barely pauses to think about it before nodding. "So I suppose you'll be wanting this." He holds up the wanted poster. The mayor speaks a word in Orcish to Buttercup, and the huge canine pads over to gently retrieve the large sheet of thick paper. Horace grimaces in fear as the dog's huge jaws approach his hand before letting go of the prize. "So, well, it's been nice catching up, hasn't it, Titch?" Horace still has his jovial smile fixed to his lips, but it seems to be cracking around the edges. Titch shakes his head. "No, I guess you're right. It's been a miserable waste of everyone's time. But can't fault us for trying, eh, Wolf? Or maybe I should say Mayor." "Just get out," Mayor Anathram growls. "My mind is quickly changing." Horace opens his mouth to speak once more before closing it with a snap. He points to the door and both he and Titch briskly half-jog their way out, looking over their shoulders the whole way.
Mayor, do you think that was wise to let them go like that?
"They are cowards," she says. "They are here because they are desperate, but they will not make that mistake again." The door slams, and the mayor turns toward you. "Now that you're alone, you give Mayor Anathram the bounty." She reviews the letter and Buttercup pads over to his kennel and lies down. "Clearly, you're now on the safe list." "I did not kill him," she says, "and I do not know who did. He was alive when I escaped with Buttercup." Mayor Anathram actually sighs as she returns her old battle axe to the mantle. She explains that she was once the leader of a bandit crew for a time, turning to a life of crime after falling into the chasm between orc and human societies. It came to her as naturally as breathing, and she rose up to lead her own band. She went by the name Wolf of the Road because she led her pack of bandits to their next meal. They operated in the Three Rivers area, robbing caravans or travellers and raiding villages when wealthier travellers became scarce. "I was a warrior once," she says, looking at her hands. "But then I was just a thief." But when one of the resistance leaders was killed, a constable of Three Rivers, the whole area erupted into open conflict, thinking it was an assassination. In truth, it was Horace and Titch who had broken into his home and tried to threaten him into easing up on the band of thieves. They were overly enthusiastic and beat the man to death tied to a chair in his own home. "I was responsible," the mayor says. "They were my men that murdered this man where he slept. But I refused to be responsible for the next one. I used the chaos of the unrest to escape." She took her bandits on an impossible raid of the invading force. While her crew was being overwhelmed, she just disappeared into the night to join the stream of refugees and found her way to Langston with Buttercup at her side. The people of Langston assumed she was a veteran and she never corrected them. She's lied about everything the whole time she's been in Langston, but she's determined to make things right. But Maybelline had found out, probably from Horace or Titch visiting the market and stirring up trouble. "I have changed. I was a warrior once, then a thief, but I was not a murderer." She pauses to take a breath. Maybelline did not see it that way. "We argued," the mayor says. "She did not think someone with my past should be in my position. I disagreed and convinced her that I am better suited to protect Langston from threats." She sets her jaw and then looks at you, and you see tears shining in her eyes. "I was wrong. The next night something killed that girl. It was not me." A loud crack rings out and you jump. Turning, you see that the source is Buttercup, who has just snapped what looks like the femur of a sheep in half and is licking out the marrow. And this is where we are now. We must conclude quickly before my town loses itself to fear, but I wish to show my thanks for your help. Please let me offer you something from my previous life.
Anathram, I would be better served with protection from whatever is out there.
"Then take this," the mayor says, lifting an amulet off her neck. "This will protect you from all manner of beasts. It was helpful when I was training Buttercup to fight." She hands you the amulet, and Buttercup huffs for a moment before putting his huge head back down on his paws. Add Lesser Amulet of the Beast to your inventory. You slip the amulet around your neck.
I am honored to hold such an item. Thank you. Anathram, I can only thank you for this gift. Is there anything else I can do for you?
"No," she says. That will be all. I trust you to find your own way out. It has been an exhausting day. She balls up the wanted poster and the warrant. She throws them into the low burning fire and walks away without another word, but the poster rolls out of the flame before it catches. A door closes toward the back of the house. Buttercup remains to surreptitiously keep an eye on you while you take the poster and bounty, or place both in the fire.
I think she honestly does have good intentions, therefore I will stick them on the fire, as she had intended.
You make sure the mayor's secret stays safe and kick the wanted poster and warrant into the flame. As you watch the flames of the hearth consume the evidence of the mayor's past, you feel something wet and warm on your hand. You jerk your hand away from what you see as Buttercup's face, specifically his tongue licking your palm. You wipe your hand and back away from the huge guard dog, moving toward the door. He follows, but only as far as his mat, where he flops down again and closes his eyes. Go to the inn for the night. It's late by the time you're leaving the mayor's home. The streets of Langston are completely empty, but the lamps are lit at least. As you make your way back to the Pickled Hen, you scan the rooftops and alleys for any return of the creature you saw the other night. You see nothing and do not feel as if you are being watched. In fact, it's a quiet and pleasant night after the hectic events of the day. The only sounds in the night are hidden crickets chirping and a single long, low howl from somewhere to the east. When you arrive at your room, a tray of dinner that has long gone cold waits for you, and you eat it without really tasting it. Finally, you climb into bed for some much-needed rest, only vaguely aware of another howl in the night as exhaustion takes you. Go to You wake feeling refreshed and ready for whatever today may bring. Gain the benefits of a long rest. Your breakfast is waiting for you when you open the door along with a neatly folded letter. The letter says, "Dear Adventurer, my thanks for your assistance with yesterday's challenges. I hope that you are making progress in your investigation into the threat of my town. The victim is due to be buried tomorrow. Visit the temple and examine the body before then. Solane of the Radiant Order has been informed of your visit. Present this note if you have any problems." And then it is signed simply by the mayor as the mayor. Guessing that any thanks at all are the mayor's way of gushing with gratitude, you finish your morning meal and then make your way to the temple as suggested.
Thank you for listening. If you survive this episode and find yourself craving more dice-fueled misery, remember that My Daughter's Keeper now releases twice a week. Your regular descent into madness every Sunday, with these special episodes on Wednesdays. If that still isn't enough, our Patreon is waiting in the shadows. Membership unlocks a growing catalogue of special scenarios, access to our Discord community of like-minded troublemakers, and even the chance to join us for backer-only games where your poor life choices can become canon. Until next time, keep your lanterns lit, your dice honest, and your escape plan ready, because things are only going to get worse.